Okay, so I'm going to share in this vlog my recent experience of arena water training with Kiki. You can see here how she is not liking the look of it. Now, to give you a bit of background, Kiki is a 16-year-old Polish sports horse. She was bred to show jump and show jumped until she was 12 when I bought her. We have done plenty of show jumping together. We've also done a little bit of eventing. And we recently, which you'll see in a moment, did our first ever arena eventing class. And having never seen water in an arena like this before, she was a bit confused. So you'll see how we were struggling there. And now look, and what I'm going to share with you in this vlog is the process that I went through to get to that stage, from her being quite a strong no to, okay, yeah, this is fun. Now, before I go on to that, I want to share I'm not a horse trainer. This is something I've done with my own horse, who I know very well, having had her for 4 years. So this is the round. This is the arena eventing round from a few weeks earlier. Now, Kiki and I have never done arena eventing before. And at this stage, Kiki, I don't think, had any idea that there were any cross-country fences coming up. This is a 90 centimetre class, which show jumping would be quite small for us. So you can see she is perfectly happy tootling around over the show jumps. In the warm-up, there were only show jumps. I don't know if that's actually normal because I've never done an arena eventing class before. But thinking about it from Kiki's perspective, apart from the fact that I've got my body protector on, which she may not have noticed, she would be well within her rights to think this was a show jumping class. So here we come to start the arena eventing bit, and she's like, what? I've got to jump up there? Oh, okay. And that's very genuine of her because she had no idea. This was a reasonably technical combination that's coming up, and I was delighted. She didn't even bat an eyelid at the ditch. And this corner we're about to jump, she did look at, and it was pretty meaty, but she's very scopy. So now we come down through the middle arena and we come to the water. So this is the first time she'll have seen this, and you can see it's a very sunny day. So we come around the corner and there's a little skinny to jump, and she's already eyeballing the water. She just went, whoa, what's that? So I circle her to get her to go over the little skinny, and you can't really see because we're not that close, but there's a little drop that I'm asking her to go off. Now, she has done drops plenty. Years ago, it was something she struggled with, but it's long since been resolved. And she has gone off drops into water in cross-country schooling before. So my view is that she just really didn't like the look. The water is very murky, as you'll see later on in this vlog, and you can see me there put my hand up. It's obvious that she's not happy, and I'm happy to call it a day and come back and school. So I get her to walk through the water, because normally once Kiki has got her feet wet once, she's usually okay. She used to struggle with water in a cross-country course, and I did a lot of schooling through puddles over a winter, and when we came out she was absolutely great. So you see, I try and get her to go off the drop again. Now, I have retired at this point, but they did say that I could do another jump if I wanted to. So I really felt that once she'd got her feet wet, she would be fine. But you can see she's really not happy. So I go, okay, fair enough. She's obviously got something else going on. And again, I just walk her through the water for good measure. So this is a few weeks later. I wanted to school through it, and you can see already she's reluctant. You can see how murky it is. It's not as sunny on this day, but you can see that because it's clay around here, you can see that the water is not at all clear. And of course, from a horse's perspective, they do not know whether it's bottomless or whether there's 3 inches in there. So I'm just allowing her to get her feet wet and just see how she is about it. And I've got a bit of a backup plan if that doesn't work. There you see she's nice and calm. I give her some praise. And then you can see she's already resisting the drop. So I'm like, okay, at this stage, it's not about accuracy. It's just about her getting happy and going through the water. She's not a horse that naturally will try and evade things. If she does, she either doesn't understand the question or she is genuinely worried. And you can see here that she's perfectly happy tootling up the step. So it's not the step that's the problem. It's the going off it that's causing her an issue. So we just spend a bit of time just kind of having a play and letting her know that it's all right. So there's no pressure on her here. I'm just kind of getting her used to going through it, getting her feet wet and getting her confidence of just being in this water that a few weeks ago she really disliked. Okay, so now I'm like, okay, you can go off this drop, and there she goes. You can see she's a bit reluctant, but she did it. She still goes forward. She still looks happy. So I come a little bit faster, and yeah, she's not jumping off it or flying off it, but she is going in. So I'm happy with that, considering not that long ago she wasn't going in it at all. So then I decide to go off the bigger one, which is here. With the benefit of hindsight, I could actually have offered her to go off the one that's facing the camera, and probably if I was doing this again I would do that. However, because she has been off drops into water, not lots, but she has done it before, and because once usually she's got her head around something, she's fine, I felt it was worthwhile just going to this drop. It's not big compared to some of the drops she's been off before, but you can see she's not keen on the water, so she has a bit of a look, she thinks, and I'm just kind of asking her here, I'm just sort of saying, you're okay, it's fine, you can do it, and I'm really holding the space for her to be able to do this, and just having in my mind that it's possible and that she's capable and that it's safe, and so I'm just waiting for her to kind of catch up. Here she starts to really back off, so I'm like, no, that's not acceptable, let's move forward, and she really responds nicely, so I'm pleased about that. I feel like she needs a bit of encouragement from behind here, so in a moment I'll use my stick in my other hand, just there we go, just to give her a bit of motivation. Now she half goes and she sort of stops, so she's in, but she wasn't all that happy about it, so I decide obviously to come round and repeat and see if I can just get her a little bit more smooth. You see her swishing her tail a bit. Her ears are forward, but she's still not mega confident with it, but there we go, in she goes. So I'm pleased with how things are going at this stage. So I decide to come round to the other side, same principle. She did seem to take a real exception to this side, and you can see where she kind of wheels away a little bit. That's quite a hard no from Kiki. She's not an explosive horse. For any of you that know anything about horse personality types, she would be a confident introvert. So she doesn't tend to sort of fly off the handle at things. She just kind of tends to say no until she understands, and then she's usually okay. So because she is saying no quite strongly here, but she's been off the other one, so I know that it's possible for her to do it, I am focused on that one at the moment. In a moment, I do actually say, okay, let's go off the small one, just to try and get her confidence back, because it does feel to me from being sat on board that it is a confidence issue. Here we go, this is me saying, okay, you can go off the small one. But you can see she's still like, no, I can't do it. Even though 10 minutes earlier, she was going off without any problem. So I'm keeping my energy low. I'm still letting her know that I believe she can do it. And I'm not getting frustrated or cross. I'm just repeating and saying to her, you're okay. Now here, I just relax. I take a deep breath out myself, and I just say to her, you're okay, it's fine. Because I felt that she was getting quite het up. And although she's happy to stand there, it felt like at this point she had a mental block, that she'd gone backwards from the work we'd done earlier, and it's no good for her if I'm just continuing to ask the same question and getting the same answer. We could have been there all day, which obviously is not my aim. So I get her back in the water just to double check that she understands that that's what she's got to do, and check that she understands that she can go off and go up the little drop. And then I decide to go with my plan B, which is get her used to jumping again, because she loves that, and see if I can put the combination together and that she will just bring her confidence. And you can see she's like, no, I can't go off that, even though she'd been off it a few times earlier on. Now this was a surprise to me, because normally you can build up things with Kiki, but I had a plan B, and here it is. This is me in my wellies, which I found had a hole in after a couple of moments. And I'm just walking her through the water. This is on sped up time, because I just want to show what I did. Now, like I said at the start, I'm not a horse trainer. So this isn't me saying everybody should train their horse this way. I know my horse, and I have experience of, in some instances, how to work through issues. With the benefit of hindsight, I would have had a lunge line. I was fairly sure that she wasn't going to jump on me because that's not the nature of her as a horse, and I was happy that I was safe. But I think if I'd had a lunge line, it would have been easier. So what I'm doing here is just encouraging her to join me in the water and just using my stick to say, you can move those legs, it's okay. And when she wasn't going off the little drop, I used the one on the side just to say, you can come off that way, it's all good. And she becomes more confident because it's less of a step for her. So again, my energy is very low. I'm holding the possibility that she can do it because I absolutely know she can. And then in she steps and she gets some praise. Because she's done all of these elements, there we go, nice, without hesitation there. Because she's done all of these elements before, I know that it's possible, and I'm just showing her how she can do that. And again, lunge line would have been easier, and it was just a bit of resistance. I think that was her just really testing, and now she doesn't want to come out of the water. And now you can see that I'm just kind of creeping her back towards the little drop that she's had, she took an issue with, almost without her noticing. I'm just kind of taking her in, bringing her out and giving her praise. And all throughout this, I'm talking to her. She's so clever, that keeps my energy low, my breathing, and there we go, we can go back up the step. So I'm just getting her used to being around the edge. And here we go. I now believe it's time that she can go off this step. She's not so sure, but I'm holding the space that she can do that. And I just correct. And now I say, okay, priority is in the water. If I have to take my time and go back up, there we go. I've taken her off the corner there. And here we go. We're getting closer and closer to that corner. And you can see she's not stressed about this. She's just following and doing what I'm asking. She's a little bit confused. And I gave her some real praise there because she tried with one foot. There we go. In she goes. And off she gets. Loads of praise because she's done exactly what I've asked her. And very quickly, I take her straight back out to just reinforce that that's what I want. And there's even less hesitation that time, which I'm delighted about. So I carry on and just keep reaffirming that this is exactly what I'm looking for. So now I'm happy that she's understood what I've asked, and I felt a real shift in her energy. So here we go, I'm back on board, out of my soggy wellies, trotting her through and up the bank. So I'm just reintroducing her to something that I know she finds easy. And now I'm bringing her back off the little drop, and I am absolutely convinced she's going to do it, and there she is. And you can see she's cantering, she's got her ears forward. So now I bring in the little fence, so it's like a combination. And you see the confidence has absolutely grown just with me giving that space and allowing her to see me do it and encourage her from the ground. Okay, so here we go. And we're off. And then back up the other side, which I'm absolutely delighted with. And the side that she had much more of a problem with, off she goes. She has a little bit of a wibble, but she's fine. And then up, there we go. So you can see that she's really understood the question now.
Come down and up and out because she wibbled a little bit. What a clever pony. It's entirely her. When she gets it, she's like, oh, I understand.
And I'm chatting away to Simon, basically saying that once she understands it, she's like, yeah, I've got it, no problem. And she totally proves that that's the case here. There she goes. And I don't mind that she's trotting rather than cantering. The most important thing is that she's going in willingly. If doing it a bit slower to start with is what she needs to get her confidence with it, I'm absolutely fine with that. And then we just introduce a little crocodile fence at the end just to give it a little bit of interest. And now I come down over the crocodile. You see she's very happy in canter. She's still trotting the water, but I'm fine with that. Up and out. And then what I do is I pop another couple of fences because Kiki absolutely loves to jump. So this is her reward, if you like, for trying so hard in the water. We just pop a couple of fences. And I didn't do very much else that whole day because it wasn't about utilising the whole hour that I'd booked the school for to, you know, do lots and lots of jumping. It was really about building her confidence to get her to realise that it was safe for her to go through the water. So here we come back to the combination just to finish off. And you can see she's really happy and now completely understands. And because she loves to jump, I just finished off with her jumping a little skinny.